What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is main deck Monday, and today we're looking at a Mew Manectric Crobat deck. Now, if you remember back in Cities, I did play this deck a lot. I thought Manectric and Crobat was one of the strongest combinations, and I think this is going to continue on to Nationals. And now that Manectric has a new friend with Mew, I think this deck even gets a lot stronger because of this Mew card, which we haven't been over. So let's go over Mew and let's see what I'm talking about. So Mew has 50 HP, pretty low, like it's a low hit point Pokemon. But it has this really cool ability, Memories of Dawn. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon to play, but you still need the necessary energies to use each attack. Alright, so you can copy basic Pokemon's attacks, but you have to set a certain amount of energies. Like if you need a lightning in colors, maybe double lightning, maybe a fire energy, you have to have that on the Mew to actually use the attack. But you can only use your basic Pokemon, which is kind of unfortunate. It's kind of like Mew EX, but Mew EX lets you copy any bench Pokemon. I think even any Pokemon to play, actually. So it kind of copies that card, but it's only your basic Pokemon. But that's going to be okay. We're going to find a way to make this work. And it also has that OK attack. Encounter, search deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This can let you search for Shaymins, so that way you can help set up if you are drawing dead, which is really, really nice. So what we're going to copy with Memories of Dawn is Manectric-EX. And Manectric-EX has a second attack, Assault Laser. It does 60 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool attached to it, this attack does 60 more damage. So with that, you can do 120. With the Fighting Fear Belt, sorry, you do 130. With the Crobat and Golbat, you can do 160, 170, 80, which is a knockout. You can also use Overrun for no energies, and because you play Dimension Valley. So what the whole concept of the deck is, you put a Light Energy on a Mew, have Dimension Valley out, and use Assault Laser for 1 energy. And now they have to deal with this Mew that is Assault Laser in your EX Pokemon for 120. You play Headringer, so you can Headringer their own Pokemon. Most people do play their own tools on their Pokemon. And the thing with the Assault Laser, remember, they had to have a tool attached to it, so that's why we're playing the tools. You can also use Manectric Assault Laser to knock out Shaymins, because 60 plus 60 for weakness is 120 automatically, which is really, really nice. So this is going to be kind of your main attacker. But like I said, we do play a 4-3-3 Crobat line to help hit some crucial numbers. The Golbat does have Sneaky Bite, put 2 damage counters on any Pokemon, and the Crobat has Surprise Bite, which puts 3 damage counters on any of your opponent's Pokemon. So combining these, you do 50, with the Assault Laser 170, Fighting Hero 180. So you can see how the math starts adding up with this deck. Now the only problem with this deck is it has struggles with Hex Maniac. Obviously, Hex Maniac can shut down your Pokemon, and Greninja. Greninja has attack Shadow Stitching, which makes it where you can't use any of your abilities, which is really bad because you can't use Mew, you can't use Crobat, you can't use Golbat. Your only real option is use Manectric-EX, maybe get lucky, use Super Scoop Ups, maybe use AZ. I mean, Greninja is such a bad matchup. Now, the good thing about you playing against Greninja is they're going to use Shadow Stitching, hit you for 40, and they're going to hit you for another 40, and then you can use Super Scoop Up while you use an Overrun over and over again. Maybe you can sneak in an Assault Laser eventually. So you might be okay. Maybe, I mean, it's a weird matchup, don't get me wrong, it's in their favor for sure. Besides that, Night March is pretty cool because you can overrun Night Marches, put Fighting Free Belts on your Mews or Manectrics. You have Golbats and Crobats to stack damage. It's a really cool attack, and I do like this a lot. And I thought it was really strong during Cities, and I think that will continue on to Nationals as well. We do play 2 Shaymin-EX as well to help set up. So there we go. That's your whole Pokemon line. And remember, Mew can copy Zubat, Manectric, and Shaymin's attacks. It can't copy Golbats and Crobats. Man, I wish it could use Golbat's attacks. That'd be really nice. But we play 2 Level Ball. It can search for Golbat, Zubats, and Mew because you search deck for Pokemon with 90 HP or less and put it in your hand. We play 1 Super Rod to shuffle back any combination of 3 Pokemon or energies. 4 Super Scoop Up Flip Coin of Heads, put 1 Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into your hand, which is really, really nice. You can pick up a damaged Manectric, maybe pick up a Crobat line, maybe even a Mew, because with Fighting Fear Belt, your Mews do have 90 HP, which could be sometimes difficult to knock out. 4 Trainers Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seekers. Pretty much, these staples are almost in every standard deck as of right now. 1 AZ to put 1 Pokemon back into your hand. You do have to discard all cards attached to it. For the most part, we are using this on Crobat to pick up the whole line. 1 Lysandre to bring a Pokemon off the bench, 2 in, and 4 Sycamore. I think we're going to start seeing a stable of 2 in, maybe 3 in, and 4 Sycamore back into the deck. Like, any Night March down to 1 is really good. Maybe ending down to 2 is great. Like, we did have Judge. Do we put them down to 4, then draw 1, 5? But now ending down to 1 or 2 could be really helpful against Night March. 3 Dimension Valley, so that way your Mews can use the Assault Laser for a single Lightning Energy. And you can also use, like, Skill Dive for 30. Maybe Supercross 10 everywhere, which is really nice. Alright, so the deck plays 3 Headringers, so that way your Mews have 90 HP, which is really nice. It also gives your Manectric-EXs 210 HP, which could be really hard for them to deal. And I guess Greninja Break, this could be kind of your out, because they really can't knock out your Manectric-EXs as easily. Like, they can't use, like, Giant Water Stricken. You know, they have to do a lot of stuff to actually one-shot your Manectric-EXs. But it's still going to be a difficult matchup for sure. Fighting Fever is nice. 2 Headringers, so that way you can activate Assault Laser, so that way you can do 120 HP. Like I said earlier, they do, some of them play like Links and Floatstones and stuff like that. Most of it as well, but Headringers does guarantee it, and it makes it where they need 1 more colorless energy to actually attack, so it could slow them down. And a Lightning Energy, mainly because we need that for the Manectric-EX. Everything else in here is colorless, so Lightning does cover everything in the deck. But there it goes, there is the Mew Manectric Crobat deck. Like I said earlier, I think this deck is really, really strong. I think it does have a lot of potential for, you know, Nationals. We just gotta find a way how to beat Greninja. If we could do that, I think this deck will shine a lot during that during Nationals. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see the deck in action. Okay, your opponent gets a Mega Flurry 22, playing a Dark, Steel, Dragon, and a Psychic deck. We'll call heads like always, and let's see what's going to happen. And we won the coin flip, so we will be going first. I'm not 100% sure what my opponent is playing. There's actually a Mega Absol coin on their field as well. But we get a Mew, we get a Manectric. We are going first, which kind of wants me to start with Manectric instead, because he can tank a little bit more than the Mew. So press done, and let's see what's going to happen. There is a Bronzor. Alright, so put down the Mew. We're going to Trainers Mail. We're looking for like a Level Ball or something. VS Seeker is not what we really needed, so press done. We'll put down Dimension Valley, and we will Shaymin to draw 3 whole new cards, and let's see what do we find off the Shaymin for 3. There's a Lightning Headringer, and okay. I'll put a Lightning Energy in the active. We'll Ultra Ball, discard the VS Seeker and the Crobat, and I'm actually just going to pass. I'm going to get down to Zubat and just pass. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I need to keep our Headringers. It looks like all of our Golbats are in our deck. We prized 1 Crobat, and we have everything else ready to go. How many Dimension Valleys are in here as well? 4 Super Scoop Ups, 2 Dimension Valley. There's 1 out in play, 1 AZ, and how many VS Seekers? So 3 VS Seekers. We just discarded 1. So I'm not really sure what we prized, but things are looking good for us prize-wise. We'll put down a Zubat, and we'll just end our turn. Like I said, we could Headringer an EX, which is great for us. We could maybe knock out this Bronzor if we get an overrun. Oh, there's Skyfield. Okay, so some kind of, could be a Tyrantrum deck. Yeah, there's Tyrantrum coming down. What's he resistant to? Resistance to nothing, weak to fairy. Okay. There's Sycamore. Going to discard the hand, draw 70 cards. Discards a Shaymin, Skyfield, and a Hex Maniac. Okay. There's another Bronzor coming down. A Zora coming down as well. Ultra Ball, going to discard a Tyrantrum and a Sycamore, and there's a Hoopa, going to use Scundering to search for 3 EX Pokemon. Now, we can Assault Laser this Hoopa for 2 easy prize cards if he keeps it on the field. That is the big question. Going to grab a Giratina, Aegislash, and a Shaymin-EX. Okay. Okay, so Giratina coming down, Aegislash, and we're going to see a Shaymin setting up for 5. Oh, a Metal Energy on that guy first, and a Shaymin setting up for 5 new prize cards. Now, I think the plan of attack is to definitely go after this Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum seems like the most scariest Pokemon. There's a Floatstone going down, to the active, actually. Okay. I guess he doesn't want his Bronzor to get knocked out? I'm going to retreat to the Hoopa. Now, retreating to the Hoopa is actually a fairly interesting play, because we can knock it out next turn. There's a Lightning Energy. Ooh, do we go for this or not? We can Headringer it. Take a knockout with Mew with an Assault Laser if we get it. So yeah, let's Headringer the active. Let's put a Lightning Energy on Mew, and let's play Sycamore. Let's see what's going to happen. Can we get it or not? That's the big question. Alright, we got Ultra Ball. Okay. So, let's Ultra Ball. We need a Dimension Valley. So we're going to Ultra Ball, discard in, and a Lightning. I guess we should have Super Scooped Up first to see if we can reuse the Shaymin. That's a mistake on my part. Oh, we only have, okay, that's good. Alright, so grab a Golbat. No, grab another Zubat. That seems fine. So grab a Zubat. Put that down. Use Super Scoop Up. Try and pick up the Shaymin-EX. And there's a head. So yeah, we're going to pick up that Shaymin. And I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard a Sycamore and a Lightning Energy. And with this, we're going to grab another Zubat. We could grab another Golbat, but I think grabbing Zubat's fair as well. So we'll grab a Zubat. Put that guy down, and we're going to use Shaymin-EX to draw 6 whole new cards. And can we find a Dimension Valley or not? If we do, we can knock out the Super this turn. So 6 new cards, and there is a Dimension Valley and a Super Scoop Up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Level Ball, and with the Level Ball, we're going to grab another Zubat. And this way, we put down Dimension Valley. We actually discard our Shaymin, so my opponent can't knock it out. So let's put down a Zubat. Do we use the Super Scoop Up or not? We've already played one. We save the energy. If we save the Super Scoop Up, we can save the. Or the energy is going to get discarded anyway. So yeah, let's just retreat into the Mew. And yeah, we're gonna get a knockout this turn. We'll put a Dimension Valley down. My opponent will discard up to 5 Pokemon, or have to discard till they have 5 Pokemon on the field. We can discard our Shaymin, and we can take a knockout on this Hoopa because it is weak to Psychic. So he'll go and discard those. We're gonna dump the Shaymin-EX, pretty much useless right now. And we are going to use the hold on. Assault Laser on the Hoopa for 240 damage. Alright, there we go. So we'll take 2 prize cards, and now my opponent has to knock out this Mew. So there's a Fighting Fury Belt and a Crobat. Okay, so still not the best of cards. Bronzor will come into the X spot onto my opponent's turn. So now my opponent has to deal with this Mew. If they don't, we can use Assault Laser again. So that's actually pretty good. Now the only thing I'm kind of scared about is the Zora. Zora could do a ton of damage to our Manectric-EX, but luckily we do have a Fighting Fury Belt for the next turn. Flowstone going to the Zora when involves in a Zoroark, and can use stand in, retreat whenever it wants to. DCE could use Mind Jack, but my opponent still needs a double Dragon Energy, maybe double Metal Links and a Fighting Energy. Yeah, it needs. Yeah, that's what it needs. That's a lot of stuff. Well, let's see what does my opponent do. So that's good. Like I'm like, man, I'm still freaking out that my opponent like retreated to the Hoopa and was like, here you go, here's a free EX knockout. I'm like, oh, I'll gladly take this. Alright, so see Zora coming down, Flowstone, 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Does he have anything or not? There is a double Dragon going to the Giratina, actually, and a Sycamore. Going to discard the hand, draw 70 cards. Do they have any metal? They have 1 metal energy in the discard pile. My opponent could have taken knockout with the Tyrantrum this turn if they wanted to. And there we see my opponent get seed in the game. So we saw Mew taking a knockout. It doesn't seem my opponent had the retaliation. And I mean, I guess it would have depended what we top deck. We would attach a Lightning Energy to the Manectric, put a Fighting Fury Belt on it as well, so that my opponent could have knocked it out. Maybe get some Golbats down, maybe use Overrun. We could have solely zeroed the Bronzor. I think we would have knocked out either Bronzor. They get a 60 HP, and I don't think it's resistant. Let me see if that Bronzor is resistant. It is not resistant, so we could have knocked out with that. If we would have sent the Giratina or the Tyrantrum, we would have hit them for 60, softening up. So yeah, we were doing good there. Doesn't seem my opponent had much. It looks like he did miss the Battle Compressor. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. Oh, he played a Pokemon Fan Club as well, which is interesting. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully we can get another win. Maybe show off the deck a little bit more, but knocking out the Hoopa was very, very cool when he sent it up and it was like, you can't knock this guy out. I'm like, yes, I can. Here comes Mew, Energy, Dimension Valley, and a Soul Laser for the knockouts. There we go. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second, and we'll see what happens. Alright, but he gets Tom R explaining all fighting deck. This could be a Zygarde deck. It could be Lucario deck. I mean, I guess we have Mew, which is great, so that way our Manectrics aren't getting hit for weakness, but it's still going to be kind of weird. But we'll see what happens. If it is Lucario, we can hit Lucario for weakness. We did lose the coin flip, so we'll be going second. Alright, so they're choosing who goes first, and I imagine, yep, they're going to opt to go first. But we can maybe get a turn 1 Assault Laser. Okay, so we get Manectric-EX start, which is not the best thing we want to start with, but hey, we can't overrun. It's going to be depending on what kind of fighting deck they are playing. They're playing Magma Seed, so maybe they're playing a Team Magma deck. Waiting while my opponent chooses their active Pokemon. Let's see what they decide to pick. Oh man, so they're okay. We'll press done. Don't want to put the Shaymin down because really no need for it. We want to save it to draw more cards. And there's a Pokemon coming down from opponents. 2 Pokemon coming down from opponents, and let's see what's going to happen. So there's a Lucario, Regirock, and a Carping deck. Alright, so there's a Landorus coming down. But like I said, if we get a Mew, we can Assault Laser this Lucario. Turn 1 to knock it out. There's a Karina. Gonna search the deck for a fighting Pokemon and a item card, and let's see what item card they opt to get. Now, hopefully they grab a Muscle Band and attach it to Lucario and a Professor letter. Alright, so they're gonna grab a letter, okay? But like I said, if we can get lucky, we can maybe knock out this Lucario. Double fighting energy going to their hand. We just might have to discard a Super Scoop Up. There's a fighting energy to the active, another Regirock coming down, and let's see what happened. A pass onto our turn, okay? So we get a Sycamore. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard in and the Sycamore, which might seem kind of weird, but I think this is going to be our best option to save our Super Scoop Ups. And with this, I'm going to grab a Mew. Mew? There we go. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. There's 2 Headringers in here. Okay. And how many Dimension Valleys? 3. Okay, so we're looking good. Let's grab a Mew. Put down the Mew. Put down a Light Energy. Use Super Scoop Up. Come on, get the Manectric up in heads. Alright, so pick up the Manectric-EX. Send up the Mew, put down Manectric, use Shaymin to set up for 5 new cards, and let's see, what do we get off the Shaymin? Come on, Dimension Valley! Okay, we get a Level Ball. We'll grab a Zubat. So no Dimension Valley yet. Oh, we need Dimension Valley and a Headringer. So Zubat, Mew, Super Scoop Up number 2, and Tails. Okay. Now, Corkscrew Smash will knock us out next turn, which is going to be unfortunate, but we can at least, let's go for an overrun. We'll do 40, and let's, I guess, softening up a Regirock's probably our best play. So we're going to hit 40 because of weakness. Okay. And let's see what only to my opponent's turn. Now, let's see. If we still draw on a Dimension Valley, we can take a knockout next turn because we can use Golbat, Energy, Dimension Valley, Assault Laser for the knockout. Yeah, Corkscrew Smash will let them have 6 new cards in their hand. I guess we maybe should have kept the supporter card, but I felt kind of lucky. I felt like we were going to do okay. It's whatever. It's whatever, though. We'll see what happens. We know my opponent does have an energy in their hand, but they are going to attach it to the active. They're going to say, hey, I don't think you're going to knock me out next turn. And there's a Focus Sash going down into this guy. Don't really care about Focus Sash that much, especially on Landers. But we see Corkscrew Smash is going to just drop to 3 new cards in their hand. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And they're only going to take 1 prize card. Now, can we get lucky? Can we top deck this Dimension Valley, a supporter card, a VS Seeker, Trainers Mail, anything? Let's see. And there's a Fighting Fear Belt. Alright. So we'll put down Golbat. Put 20 on the active. Just 20 on the active really matter? Yeah, sure, put on the active. And we will retreat into the Mew, put it energy, put down a Fighting Fear Belt, and this makes it where my opponent needs another energy to knock us out. And let's go for an overrun. We could go for, maybe search for a Mew, but I think this is probably the better play. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll do 50. Oh, 60. Ooh, even better. So what we can do next turn is we can Crobat and Skill Dive for a knockout. I guess that would be okay. But then they can maybe knock out a Crobat. Things are interesting right now, especially our hand is just 1 Pokemon and nothing else. Let's see, does he commit the 3rd Fighting Energy? There's a Karina, gonna search deck for a Fighting Pokemon and something else. There's a Zygarde coming down, okay. Zygarde might be interesting, especially if they get the Carbink Breakout. They can power it up fairly easily, but maybe could knock it out. There's a starting Megaphone coming down, which they can use it to bump our Fighting Fear Belt and then use the Corkscrew Smash for the knockout. There's a Zygarde coming down. There's a starting Megaphone getting rid of our Fighting Fear Belt. And let's see, does he have an energy attachment for the turn? Is the real question. Nope, just a Corkscrew Smash. So no energy attachment to the Zygarde as of right now. My opponent go down to 4 prize cards. And let's send the Golbat. And let's see, hopefully we top deck something. Give me an energy Pokemon. No, not a Pokemon. A Headringer, okay. I guess what we could do is we can Headringer the Zygarde. And we can Crobat, do 30 to Lucario. And we can just pass and sit here and watch the sunset go by. Alright, so in our turn, if we had a Light Energy, we could take a knockout, but we don't. Alright, so onto my opponent's turn. There's a Lysandre. Gonna bring up that Manectric-EX, which is, unless they have an energy, it's not gonna knock us out immediately. Corkscrew Smash will only do 160, sorry, 6, 7, 8. Oh man, there's a Zubat. Okay, so put down Zubat, and we'll pass. Alright, so on my opponent's turn. Okay, alright, so things are going great right now. No supporter card, no VS Seeker, no Trainers Mail. Just nothing. Alright, so there's a Trainers Mail. Gonna look at the top 4 cards of their deck. Now, if my opponent takes a knockout and we top deck an in, we can maybe put my opponent back behind a lot. There's a VS Seeker going to their hand, threatening a Corkscrew Smash or a Somersault Kick the following turn. There's a switch into the Landorus, and we'll probably see a Fighting Energy and a Shadow Power for the knockout. There's a Sycamore, actually, and they are digging for this Fighting Energy. If they whip the Fighting Energy, they can't actually knock us out this turn. And do they find it? They haven't played a single strong that I know of yet. And he says, Ja, 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 ja. One energy. I guess he missed the energy. That's great. We haven't played a support card yet. Alright, so no energy for my opponent, but that's okay. We haven't played a single supporter card. So, I mean, he's complaining because he doesn't have energy. I'm just complaining because I haven't played Pokemon yet. Alright, so, okay, cool. 1 energy, 35 cards. Alright. I think my opponent's still mad, but that's okay. There's a Fighting Free Belt going down onto the Zyg on the Red Rock. He should have probably put on the Lucario. Trainers Mail, going to the top 4 cards of their deck. We're going to grab an AZ, so we have to knock out this Lucario this turn, or I'm going to cry. So on our turn, please give me a top deck, and there's a Light Energy. Oh, buddy. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Light Energy in the active. I'm going to retreat into the Crobat, and I'm going to pass and cry. Alright, so let's end our turn. My opponent says, ja, ja, ja again. Alright. There is crashing. Hold on a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Alright, so we see a Carbon Break coming out. Okay. We see Sycamore going to discard the hand, draw 70 cards. So he actually does an AZ up to Lucario, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. Trainers Mail again. There's a Super Rod. How many Fighting Energies in the discard pile? No Fighting Energies. There's a Fighting Free Belt, Strong Energy, okay. And a Shadow Power for 40 damage. And he's going to attach energy onto nobody. Alright, there's an AZ. Do we AZ up to Crobat or not? Let's see. So he did 40 last turn, so he can't knock out a Golbat. But, oh, man. Okay. What do we do? We could AZ pick up the Manectric. Alright. So I think what we're doing is I'm going to AZ pick up the Shaymin. Wow, that was almost a silly mistake. So let's Shaymin, put it back down. We're going to draw a new hand of 6. And we need a Golbat and a Energy. Alright, so we got a Super Scoop Up an Ultra Ball. So we're going to Super Scoop Up, try to pick up this Shaymin. So we can pick up the Shaymin. I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard a Zubat and a Crobat. And with this, we'll grab a Golbat. Okay. So grab a Golbat. Put down a Zubat. Put down a Golbat. Put Golbats on the Lucario. Put down Shaymin. Use Shaymin, set up for 6. And let's see, do we get an energy or not? And there is a Dimension Valley. And we see my opponent. Alright guys, to the ends of that video, my computer started freezing up. It didn't record the sounds anymore. But we weren't gonna win that match. It was very strange because the opponent conceded the game. For some odd reason, they complained about them not hitting energies while we weren't really hitting anything. But they did scoop the game. We were going to take a knockout on the early Pokemon with energy, but then they kind of started using Landers, power up these Zygars. I'm not sure what would have happened, but I haven't had that much time to record for Main Deck Monday. I apologize for that. I was really busy today to do Memorial Day stuff with my friends and family. But at least you got to see a little taste of this Mew Manectric Crobat deck. Like I said last Saturday, I am going to start doing a standard Saturday tournaments more, so we will see this deck again for a Saturday tournament. I do think this is a really good play for the Saturday tournament, but like I said in the introduction, it does kind of struggle with Greninja break because they have this shadow stitching. So apologize for that. Sorry that my computer kind of froze. You couldn't hear what I said. Then you kind of see me just freeze there, and it fixed itself, but then it didn't record in the mic stuff, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know these two games weren't the best of games, but this is what I got, and I apologize for that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, just want to give a quick shout out to our two sponsors, 60 Cards and Yeti Gaming. The links are down below to their websites. Make sure you go check them out. Alrighty.